Hey guys, this is Nisa at Culture Cuisine. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be making Guyanese plait bread. This recipe is very simple, easy to make, and it's delicious. Alright guys, so here we have our warm water. Make sure your water is 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Add your brown sugar, yeast, and what you're going to do, you're going to stir this and let it rise for about 5 to 10 minutes. Alright guys, so now you're going to add your flour, butter, and salt to the mix and mix it together until it's clumpy. So you really want to get everything mixed in together, and then what you'll do is make a hole in the center of the bowl and slowly pour in your yeast mixture. I accidentally delete this part of the video. Alright guys, so here I'm adding the yeast water. You really want to knead this in with your knuckles, mixing it all together until you get a firm ball. You will have to add more flour as you go so that it's not really sticky on your hands. So I did speed up this process a little bit, but now here's where you want to add your flour once you feel like you've kneaded your dough very well. And just add a little bit of flour as you go and knead it in more. So the time to knead this is about 5 to 7 minutes. But the more you knead it in, the most softer it gets, it's better. And now here's where you want to just clean the sides of your bowl so that you get all the flour off the edges and everywhere else in your bowl. As you can see, I'm adding flour as I go and cleaning the sides of my bowl. The total amount of flour that I added was about half a cup, just so that my dough isn't sticking to my hands anymore. Keep on kneading for a few more minutes and then you'll see how your dough comes along into a soft ball. Okay guys, so here I slow this video down so you can see how to knead. What I do is I grab at the ends, pull to the middle, and then knead in with my knuckles. Alright guys, so here's where you want to grab your dough and just go around it in your bowl so that you get everything off and your bowl is clean. So once you knead it to that consistency where it's no longer sticking at your hands, what you want to do is knead it into a ball. So now what you'll do is you will flour a different surface and place your dough onto that. So now what I'm doing is I'm kneading it in a little bit more, putting it into that ball. And what you want to do is you want to take your knuckles and just go pound it down. And what you'll do is you'll make it into a ball again. Now we're going to cover it and let it rise for about 5 minutes. So here we have the dough. What you want to do is flour it a little bit, the bottom and the top, so that it doesn't stick to the bowl. And what you'll do is you'll take another clean container, butter the bowl, and then after that, what you'll do is take the same butter and put it on top of the dough. So the trick to having your dough rise longer and in a warm place is to let your microwave run for 60 seconds, and then after that, place your dough in there. So now I'm gonna put my dough into the butter bowl, cover it with damp paper towel and a tablecloth, and let it rise for 45 minutes to an hour. Then we'll come back. Alright, so it's been 45 minutes and that's what my dough looks like. What I'm gonna do is flour a surface and then place my dough onto the surface. It's so soft. So now what you want to do here is take the ends and knead it into the middle, and then we will turn it over so that you get a perfect ball. Ugh, you can see how soft this dough is. See all the air bubbles? That's what you want. Turn it over now, and what we'll do, make sure that you flour your surface as you go so that the dough doesn't stick. Here I did knead the dough in for like another minute. What I'm doing is I'm just pulling it in, take the ends, pull it into the middle, and firming that into a ball. Now I'm going to flour the surface. Make sure you flour the bottom and the tops, that way it doesn't stick anywhere. And now we'll take out about an inch of a ball. That's the long piece for the bread, and place that to the side. Alright guys, here's where you want to get a butter knife or anything to cut the dough. I am using a vegetable scooper, as you can see. That way it won't affect my cutting board. And you want to cut the dough into 3 equal parts. Just eye it out. If you're really OCD, what you can do is just measure it out with a scale. That's up to you, but I'm sure when my grandmother made this bread, she didn't use any scale to measure it out. Alright guys, so I did not speed up this video, that way you can see that it did not take long to make this bread, and it's not complicated at all. Now I have my 3 parts. I'm gonna just roll it in with my hand, place 2 of the parts to the side, and then we'll get started on how to plait the bread. Alright guys, so here's where you want to take one of the 3 pieces and just roll it out as you go into about, I would say about a foot long. And you really want to add flour as you go, just because it will stick to your hands and the cutting board. And again, I'm not going to speed up this video because I want you guys to see how easy it is to make this bread. Alright guys, so keep on rolling it out until you get to that foot long. And what you'll do is you're going to set it to the side and move on to the next one. It is the same way you made the first one. Just add your flour and roll it out to a foot long. Guys, so now we have all 3 of our dough. What we want to do is flour another surface and place all 3 of the dough onto that. And what you want to do is you slightly want to attach the top part of the dough. We will come back to this later, but just to attach it so that it doesn't fall apart when you're braiding. I will slow this video down for you to see how to braid it. I am starting from the middle, going over to the left, and pull the right one to the middle, and then going over again. So you want to continue doing this. And one important part about this, you really want to braid it tightly, because if you don't, the air bubbles in your dough will rise and separate the bread, and you don't want that when you're baking it. So go ahead and continue to braid this out and just attach the bottom when you're done. This video is in slow motion just for you to see it. Alright guys, now we're at the end of the bread, and keep on braiding it. And with the ends, what you want to do is braid it all the way down and just tuck it in under. Alright guys, so now that we're finished braiding that part, what you want to do is swing it around and braid it, or you can just braid it from the top. I did messed up on the first loop right there, but I'm making all the mistakes here so that you don't have to make them. And when you're done braiding that, remember to tuck it under again and straighten out your bread so that it looks straight. And remember that part that we set aside for later? What you'll do is just roll it out to the length of the bread. I don't know what that part is called, but it's a piece of dough that goes on top of the bread, the straight line right in the middle of the bread. All right, so go ahead and roll that out. Alright guys, so now that you have that long piece, what you want to do is just place it in the middle, tuck the ends under, and place your dough on a baking sheet. Not sure why I placed mine on a cutting board, but hey. Now you are going to place a damp paper towel on your dough and a tablecloth and let this rise for about another 45 minutes to an hour. Alright guys, so it's been 1 hour and as you can see my dough has doubled in size. Now what you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees and bake for 25 to 28 minutes. Alright guys, so I baked the bread for 28 minutes and as soon as it comes out of the oven, what you want to do is brush some butter on there and let it just cool down for about 5 minutes before cutting into it. Alright guys, so after the 5 minutes I cut into it and the texture is so soft. Like we demolished half of the bread in about 10 minutes. It was so good. Alright guys, so here's for the best part. When I cut into the bread, it was so easy to cut into and it was so soft. If you guys do like this recipe, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to my channel.